Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dylan, and welcome to Dylan the Truth Podcast. If you guys are new to this channel, I'd like for you guys to subscribe to it and also hit that like button. Deeply appreciated. Now, this segment is a very interesting one. It's about the biggest name in NBA right now, and he goes by the one name LeBron James. Um, Obviously, LeBron James usually makes news. Now, the latest news about him is that he was upset with ESPN. I guess they're basically saying that Bronny, which is LeBron's James' son, um, well, they're projecting that he may not make this year's draft as opposed to next year. That would be more realistically for Bronny James. This is what ESPN is projecting that Bronny will be in next year's draft, which would be 2025, as opposed to this summer. Now, um, I guess LeBron James is just looking at it like, um, you know, the media is just getting on his son. Now, we have to put this in proper context. If we have to point a finger of why all of this is happening, it's one, LeBron James. You have to think about it. Years ago, LeBron James said that he wanted to play with his son if he was to get drafted in the NBA. Whichever team drafts him, more likely LeBron James may join that team, whoever drafts him. Like, I'll throw up a team like Charlotte Hornets. If Charlotte Hornets draft Bronny James, then most likely LeBron James will join that team. So he put that out there. Now, when you say things like that, you're putting a lot of pressure on your son now because, that's it's hard to live up to LeBron James' legacy. Even if his son gets to the NBA, he will never touch his father's legacy. He just set a bar which is very hard to reach at this point. He's close to scoring 40,000 points in his career. I'll say that again, 40,000 points. No other player, no NBA player has ever touched that number. So, for the media to expect like Bronny to be the next LeBron James is just not gonna happen. I don't see that. Now, LeBron James did tweet, um, and I'll read his tweet. Um, these mock drafts don't matter one bit. So basically, he's taking a shot at ESPN, saying that they really don't know basketball like that. Basically, what he's saying is people who really follow basketball really knows where a certain player will end up, who's going to be good when they end up in the NBA. They just know it. Like if you really follow basketball, these are things that just comes to you, and you would know exactly who's going to make a big impact when they get to the NBA, as opposed to somebody that may have been a superstar in college, but it doesn't translate to the NBA. For a great example of that was JJ Redick. JJ Redick was a superstar in Duke, but then when he came to the NBA, he became a specialist. He was just known for his shooting. It just happens that way. Um, so when he put that up, I guess LeBron, he got a lot of heat for putting up that tweet. So then he ended up deleting it, which I don't understand why a lot of these guys delete their tweet, because once you put it out there, it's already there. It doesn't matter if you delete it. They're going to remember that you tweeted that. So it doesn't matter if you delete it. It's not going to erase their memory just like that. So then I guess, there was a tweet he put out, another one, which he was saying, can y'all please just let the kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball? Again, what I alluded to earlier is that LeBron James was the one that basically put the bullseye on his son's back. Now, if you notice, Bronny James don't go to the media. He doesn't speak to the media. I mean, he does his own thing. You know, he just lives his life like a normal, well, not a normal teenager, but he just wants to be a kid. Just wants to enjoy his life. He doesn't really want to be in the limelight like that. But when LeBron James, says things like that, obviously the media is going to eat that up. So, it's unfortunate that, Bronny has to go through that. But when you have a father that's like globally known as one of the top athletes, well, mainly in the North America, um, I mean, these are the things that come with it, and that what comes with the territory. So yeah, I feel for Bronny. You know, we have to remember that he came off of a scare. Remember, he had heart complications, and it was a very serious thing. Thank God he was all right. But that could factor in to how he feels if he wants to be declared in this year's draft as opposed to like next year. Now, if he was to wait till next year, that's understandable because of the scare that he had, and maybe he still needs to get more reps. Maybe he's not ready for NBA just as yet. I mean, he doesn't have to rush. He's still young. What is he, like 17, 18? He's still young. So, I mean, I don't see the rush. Just take your time with him. And I feel this is the problem with, I guess you could say, as far as America and every other country, especially in the Euro League. Now, in the Euro, how they do it is that they have these little kids like playing at what age 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and they're going up against grown men. So obviously, when you're going up against grown men, you have the upper hand. You have leverage because you're learning from the best. You're going up against grown men. You're not playing against little kids. So it could only make you better. So that's why they're more advanced as they get into the NBA because they already played against the best already. So when they get to the NBA, it will be easier for them to adjust to it. It's just certain things in the NBA is a little different compared to Euro, whereas in the United States, the game is much faster. They're more athletic. Um, that's the edge that they have. But as far as like fundamentals and things of that nature, they have the edge. Whereas in America now, they don't take time to develop a lot of these players in terms of like they play guys their age. So they don't play like grown men like that's like maybe 20, 22 or something like that where obviously you will lose a lot of the games but you gain a lot. You gain a lot of knowledge from that. And I think that's where when it comes to developing the athletes, that's where the America lacks it because they just base it off of talent. Yes, everybody has talent, but hard work will beat talent any day. Yes, you could have the talent, but do you have that drive to be the best? Do you want to win? Like, it's your mentality. Like, there's a lot of players that have talent, but it's just like they look at it and they take it for granted and be like, okay, well, I could win just based off my talent. No, it's a lot of hard work. Like, you can't, take shortcuts to become great. You have to put in the work. So that's where I would say for Bronny, where he needs to kind of find himself and figure out if he really wants to be in the NBA or maybe he wants to do something else because not every athlete's kids are gonna excel in the league. It just doesn't always happen that way. Like we could look at Michael Jordan's son. They thought that he was going to be the next big thing. I never did because he will never measure up to Michael Jordan. None of their kids will. Shaq's kids will never. measure up to Shaq. Um, God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant. If he was still alive and his daughter Gigi, um, I think she could have elevated WNBA if she had gotten into WNBA. In that aspect, I could see she could actually make a huge impact when it comes to that. But as far as to be like, living up to what Kobe did, this is not gonna happen. And that's okay. Whatever path that they decide to go in, I mean, you just gotta respect it. So I feel like Bronny James, is basically at a point in his life where it's like, yo, do I really want to be in the NBA or do I really want to do something else? Maybe he wants to start his own business. Who knows? Whatever it is that he wants to do, you know, I will support him on that. But I mean, all this attention at the end of the day, it comes back to LeBron James. You put it out there. So what do you expect the media to say when you say that, oh, you want to play with your son and when he gets in the NBA? That's what media does. They look for any little thing and, they blow it out of proportion. So you gave them something to talk about. And also, you have to look at it in the Lakers' perspective. It's like, okay, well, that means if, somebody drafts Bronny, another team, that means we may not have LeBron James for next season. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just, I'm very curious of how this is going to unfold. Um, I guess, we'll all see when that time comes. Will Bronny James be in this year's draft, or will he wait till next year? I mean, the cards is in his hands. And I will leave it there. I would like to thank for everybody for tuning in to this video. Till next time, peace.